Hello, I'm Michael Richard. It's Thursday, March the 26th, 2020, and I am stuck in Spain. Yesterday was another very quiet day. Worked mostly, walked down to the little supermarket, which is rather like a 7-Eleven, not a real supermarket. And there were about 30 people standing in line outside, 5 meters apart from each other. So I looked at that line and thought, no, I don't need anything that badly, so I turned around and went home. The news in Italy and Spain, especially Spain where I am, is pretty dire. But where we are down in a very rural area, way south of the third largest city in Spain, which is Valencia, there aren't that many people here anyway. This community has approximately 2,000 houses and apartments, but only 20% of them are occupied on a permanent basis. The rest are holiday homes and vacation rentals. Now, all the people who own those are not going to get any use of them this summer, I don't think. And I'm wondering how many of them can actually afford to keep them if they're not actually getting any income. The housing market here is going to be hit very badly, as it probably will be all over the world. And prices will drop down and normalize. Now, there's a lot being said about the stock market crashes. Well, to be perfectly honest, it's hardly surprising because the stocks have been so overvalued for so long due to rampant speculation and profiteering that it had to level out sometime. It was a bubble that had to burst. And the reason I say that is typically a stock should be valued at around 10 times the dividend. So if you've got a stock that's paying a $10 dividend, the stock should actually be worth around $100. But in these crazy times where massive speculation is going on, they're trading at 1,000 or even more, which is unsustainable, completely unvalued. I remember many years ago, I was in Vegas and a client and friend of mine told me that he was going to buy Yahoo stock. And I looked at him and I said, David, are you nuts? He said, why? It goes up every single day. It's a great investment. I said, no, it's not. He said, explain. I said, look, you're in the hotel and casino business. All the hotels and casinos together make about $8 billion in profit. And yet the market cap of all those hotels and casinos combined is less than half of what the market cap for Yahoo is. And Yahoo is losing $250 million a year. And he looked at me like I'd just explained the secrets of the world. And it's really nothing more than common sense, or as I like to call it, uncommon sense, because so few people have it. But the truth is that when you put money in the stock market as a small investor, you are at the mercy of the big investors, and you are gambling with all your money and all your assets and everything you've got. And if you get burned, you just consider that you could have gone to Vegas and played it at the tables, and you would have had as good a chance, if not better, than making it out of the stock market with your skin intact. The stock market is manipulated and controlled by very wealthy, powerful people who can spend tens of millions or even hundreds or even $1 billion to move the position of a stock up or down. It is a shell game. It always has been and always will. And when you look at all of the people who work in these brokerage houses and you see how much money they're taking and earning every single year, they're not earning it on their own investment efforts. They're earning it on commissions, on money they're investing for you. So they are moving money around into different stocks because every time they do that, they're getting a commission. Now, there's something fundamentally wrong with this, and I don't understand why people don't understand it. My friend Robert went shopping yesterday. He went to a larger supermarket that has a proper meat counter and a fish counter and a cheese counter. And he tells me that there are absolutely no shortages of good cuts of meat, lots of fish, lots of cheese, and everything you need is available without panicking. The only thing you have to do is get used to standing in line for a little bit longer and standing 5 meters behind the person in front of you. And they've now put lines of tape on the floor so you don't get any closer than that line of tape to the person in front of you, and vice versa. Now, despite this, and despite all of the TV and warnings, there are still youngsters, and I use the word up to, say 30-ish, who just insist on ignoring it. They think they're invulnerable. They think they can just do whatever they want, as they've always done, and be able to get away with it without things. And yesterday, Robert turned around to find this young 30-year-old Spaniard standing right behind him, and he went, "Go away, go away!" And the guy just took a double take and stepped back, somewhat shamefacedly. But that shouldn't be necessary. It really shouldn't. So everybody's got to have some consideration for the people around them.